It's Zest, and I'm full of zest today because we're here charging. We're in, where are we? We're in Bolton. Not exactly a sunny day today. And this is Zest. These are BYD manufactured chargers. We all know BYD to make great EVs. They're now starting to install chargers. That's brilliant for us. These are 120 kilowatts for this one. The ones with the arms are 160 kilowatts. What's going to be really interesting to us is when they start shipping over the next generation, which are 1 megawatt chargers. Boy, am I waiting to see them, even though my car can only do about 150 kilowatts, absolutely flat out. So I'm not going to use it, but I'd love to see one. Anyway, here we are. We've plugged in, we're charging, and that's very different from the last experience we had. So I'm Dave, and today I'm taking on Zest charging. Range Olive years. No, it's not the name of the chargers. They are all very nicely named. This is show film note on that side, mark help area on that side. But I'm going to tell you what that means at the end of the video. Now, one of the things we found out here is that the internet really good, and that was not the experience we had last time. We had a very patchy, very irregular internet connection last time, and it made it really quite difficult to get things done. Here we pulled up, we plugged in, we set the app going, we had to register, we had to put in a payment method, but then it said, yeah, fine, now start charging, and we pressed the start charging button. Absolutely fine, it went swimmingly. One of the things that you need to be aware of then for anyone who's using an app is get the app on your phone installed, everything registered and working before you get to your charging location, because it'll be operated from the app and it needs a minor signal to actually start it, whereas trying to download the app and everything else, if it's a weak signal, you've got a problem. So here, no trouble at all. Plugged in, it was just less than a minute, recognised the car, recognised the charging, it started charging. And this is something we do at all locations. Here we have an extra incentive to do it because it says electric car charging only. Electric charging vehicles, maximum stay of 90 minutes. Vehicle parked in designated electric charging spaces must be plugged in and charging at all times. Now, I was not able to do that because when I arrived, I wanted to use the app and it wasn't pre-installed on my phone. So I took about 2 or 3 minutes working out, downloading the app, registering and everything else. By the way, one of my pet hates is the amount of information you have to give out. Here, absolutely minimal. Car registration, my phone number, my email address, and I think my home address as well. And I don't mind giving that because that's also included on my debit card as well. So they've got that information. So minimal information, unlike, who should we mention? Shell Recharge, absolutely disgraceful. Anyway, so we got everything working. So get the stuff down on your app first, and then you can comply. So let's have a look at what that charging experience is. A lot of these, we don't know whether you plug in first and then do your card or put the card, whatever. This one is quite clear. Plug in, choose how to charge. Really simple here. So we'll plug in and see what happens. Right. If anybody out there knows how to open that without using either the screen or the app, let me know, but only those of you who actually know, because there's so many people telling me, oh, I've got one just a year older and mine does it. Yeah, 2016, there was a refresh. It's a totally different model. Model 3s, you can press them and open them. Model Ys, you can press them and open them. This is a 2015 made, 2016 registered Model S, and this does not have the ability to open it. I can open it incredibly easy with the app, and all I do is open up the app, press the charger, and it opens. So it's as simple as that. So I'm going to plug in now. Let's have a look here. Because it's an old car, need the adapter. Nobody else does. It's only if you've got a Model S or a Model X, they're the only ones that need adapters, so don't get confused on that. There it is, it's gone in. And we got the contactors already. £40 pre-authorization. And this one now says, let's find where we are on the app. Start charging. Here we go. It's plugged in. Connection timeout 3 minutes. So it's doing something, waiting for vehicle. Nothing there of any interest. It says running. We're on purple lights though, so it's not. Waiting for vehicle. Here we go. Something changed then. Charging started. Green lights. Okay. Now, let me run through what's been happening. These are Zest chargers. They're made by BYD. All of you know BYD. It's a Chinese company, make great cars. These are BYD chargers. They're very, very similar to the Instavolt chargers. An awful lot of the design structure of them is pretty much the same. And the power's the same. This is a 120 kilowatt. The ones with the metal arms overhead are 160 kilowatts, and they're exactly the same as what Instavolt use. It's most likely, if BYD are making them, they've just copied what Instavolt did, and that makes an awful lot of sense. It's quick and easy. At the time, Instavolt were one of the biggest CPOs in the UK, and therefore it would make sense to copy them. Interesting to note that they've changed a little bit. They've gone way ahead of Instavolt now, and the next lot of chargers likely to be coming out of the 1 megawatts. Those we must see. Anyway, we had a bit of a bad experience at the last place we charged. We had a very weak internet signal. Here we've got totally the opposite. It's a perfect internet signal. I've registered with Zest. Set the charging up, it's all working absolutely perfectly. So whenever we arrive somewhere and we're filming, we will always charge. So for people who say we're blocking bays or anything, we'll always take a charge. It's often only as long as the video is that we're filming, because I can charge much cheaper elsewhere. So one of the comments I get all the time is, why can't EV charging stations be the same as petrol stations? Have a big advertising board and a price clearly What have we got here? There we go. This is everything you want. This is a busy main road in Bolton, and this is about as high vis as it gets. It's bright blue with the lovely colourful bird on it. No, I'm not even going to guess what it is. But also the price, and two things about it. First of all, you can see it before you even stop. So that is a big thumbs up for Zest. The second thing, it's 65p. So a big thumbs up for Zest. This is going really well. Well, now Ionity has announced it's going to be installing 600 kilowatt chargers, and Tesla is doing an upgrade to make their chargers 500 kilowatts. And we were recently at a Fastned, which was 400 kilowatts. What use is a 160 or a 120 kilowatt charger? Who's going to use this? Well, the amazing thing is, I've got a Tesla. Now, modern Teslas, very different cars. Mine's an old one. It's coming up to 9 years, it's over 9 years old now since it's registered, and everything's old on it. And back then, anything over 100 kilowatt charging was absolute luxury. Mine is capped out at 150 kilowatts. What that means to anyone who's not aware of it, or people think you're coming into the EV world, is every car has a maximum speed it can charge at. And no matter what you plug it into, it will charge no faster ever than that. So if I was to plug my car here, which can only take 150 kilowatts, into 160 kilowatt chargers, which this one is, I could only ever get 150 out of it, even though the charger is capable of more. If I was to plug it into the 400 kilowatt Fastned charger, my car would come to no trouble whatsoever, no harm It's like plugging in a phone charger or a 3 kilowatt fan heater at home. Each device will take exactly what it needs and no more. So if I plug my car into a Ionity 600 kilowatt charger, I'll only ever get up to about 140, 150 kilowatts. When you look at your car and you're buying your first car, the speed it charges at is probably not that relevant to you unless you are a regular road tripper. And then the speed of charging is really important. Because while my car can't charge at the Ionity one at anywhere near 600, be down 140, 150. Some of the new ones, like the Lotuses, like the Ioniqs, Kias, they can charge at about 350 kilowatts, which is twice the speed of this. So is this location just for really old cars that can't charge any faster? Well, in actual fact, no. Because the vast majority of cars going onto the road, other than Teslas, are round about 100 to 150 kilowatts maximum charging. So cars like the Renault 5e, great car, maximum, I think it's 95 kilowatts. You never get that. What else we got? Citroen EC3. We've got the Insta. There's a load of cars. These are the budget EVs down in the 20, 25,000 pound range. And all of these have a maximum charging speed of no more than 100 kilowatts. I have to stress the maximum charging speed is the maximum charging speed it can ever do. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. What will affect that, very briefly, is how full your battery is. The fuller it is, the slower it charges. We'll go into that in a separate video. But if you've got an almost full battery you plug in here, you might only get 20 or 30 kilowatts. The other thing is temperature. If it's a freezing cold winter's day and your car has been left out all night and you come here in the morning, your battery's going to be stone cold. And when they're stone cold, they cannot charge at anything like the maximum rate. So on a stone cold winter's day, if you've got a half full battery, you're going to get about 10 kilowatts out of these until things warm up. Again, we've done several videos on this, so we'll leave some links at the end so you can catch up on that. But all of the new budget cars coming out, like the BYDs and the Citroens and the Stellantis are bringing some out. What are they bringing out? The Corsa. And Nissan, of course, just brought out the Micra. And these are all budget cars. The Micra, by the way, is built on the same chassis as the Renault 5, and that has the same charge. It's basically the same car with a different body and then different styling. So there's an awful lot of cars will find these useful. But not only that, I said except Teslas. The basic model Teslas charge at about 175 kilowatts. That's the maximum. The longer range and the performance ones charge at 250. So the latest version of that, and that's the Plaid, will only charge at 250. So if the 250 is the absolute maximum it will ever do, if you plug it in here, you're likely to get well under 200 at any time. And so this one at 160 kilowatts is not that far off suitable for a Tesla. Now, there are other things going on. The Tesla chargers are optimized for Tesla cars, so you will get a faster charging speed. But if this is all that's available to you in your Tesla long-range Model 3, go for a 160, and you're probably going to pull 150, 160 when you first pull into it, plug into it, and then the curve will drop. And as the battery gets fuller, the rate drops. And once you get much above 50 or 60%, the rate really starts to drop off. When you get up to 80%, it'll go down to maybe 5 or 10 kilowatts. That's it. So there's a massive market for these because, believe it or not, in general, they sell more cheaper cars than dearer cars. So things like the new Micra, the Renault 5, the Renault 4's out now, by the way. That's one I'm going to do a feature on shortly. And then something like the Dacia Spring, There's a load of cars, and they'll be popular cars. Now, I said we always plug in when we're filming. It's a decent thing to do, even though we're paying out through the nose. So we've been filming here for a few minutes. We're going to go over, we're going to check what's gone into it, and we can check either on the app or on the car or on the screen on the charger. So let's start off with the charger, see what that tells us, because they're all different. They have different information. So here we go. We are showing, this is the active one, and we are, state of charge is 71%, output power 33 kilowatts. Now, this is what I was saying about the power that we draw. Although my car can charge up to 150 kilowatts, it's 3/4 full. Don't really need any electricity from here, but it's dropped down to 33 kilowatts. So this is perfectly fine for me. So if I went to a location and they had the Ionity 600, the Fast and Edge 400, and the Tesla 500s, and there were a couple of these over there which were empty and everyone else was queuing, I'd happily go and charge on this one, because it'll give me, I'm drawing 33 kilowatts. That's what the car is limiting the charge to, not the charger. Charger can do 120, this is the 120. But my car at the moment is saying I only want 33. So that's it. It's showing 72% state of charge. Power going in 33.37. Energy gone in is 13.74 kilowatt hours. 14 kilowatt hours has gone in just while we've been filming. Duration 22 minutes. I do talk a lot. And the cost for that is £8.93. There's also a button here which says end charging session. People often ask, how do you end it? You can probably find something here to press. Doesn't seem anything obvious. I can obviously stop it on the car. I can stop it on my Tesla app, or I can stop it on the Zest app. I'll use the Zest. So here we go, end charging. And then we get, yep, that instantly it's cut down. Oh look, maximum power 120, it says that now. I didn't notice that earlier. So it's now stopped, and we might, nope, we can't get that out. So one of the disadvantages of a Tesla owner is that when we finish on the Tesla supercharger, it unlocks automatically. Here we have to, oh, hang on, that was interesting. I'll do a screenshot of this because it actually shows the charging curve. And this is something that a lot of chargers don't show. What this is the speed when we first plugged in and the speed when we unplugged. And in all cars, there is a charging curve. When you first plug them in, it's always as fast as it's ever going to be, and then it goes down at a certain rate and eventually just tails off as the battery's full. But this one actually shows you a charging curve. So top marks for BYD for that one. I like that feature. Charging period, yeah, there's not much else it says about it. So that's it. So what I need to do now, I need to unplug my car. So I'm just going to use the app for that. Unlock charging port, clicks. So I take this out. Let's put that away. Now, one thing I am going to stress, I've had several comments asking me where I get the adapters from, because they've got a particular car and they want to be able to charge at a Tesla. The only cars that are going to need any sort of adapter are really old cars like mine, because I haven't got a CCS2 socket. That's my socket. If your car has the CCS2 connector socket, which is one of those, you don't and never will need an adapter. It's as simple as that. If you've got a CHAdeMO, there are some adapters about to convert it. They're about £500–600, and most people don't bother because there are plenty of CHAdeMO chargers which have a different plug. That's really good that they've labelled up the chargers with what they are, CCS in this case, but they're all CCS. They'd have been better off just putting one sign at the beginning saying CCS2 only, and then that would have stopped them having to do that. So Zest here, not going to make a fortune out of all the cars queuing up to charge. I am joking, of course. But one thing we noticed at the last place was they had one of these as well. So this might make a few quid extra. You can drop parcels off, collect them, all sorts of things. So that might just top up the site a little bit. And it might make someone who comes here in a petrol car who's thinking about an EV, look at this and think, wow, there's loads of charging here. Nobody's using it. Last time I went for petrol, I actually queued up. So this is a really, what I call a subliminal advert. The more people go to do everyday things and start seeing chargers, the more people will then think, well, maybe an EV is the way forward. Range, Olive, years. Said I'd get back to it. What they've done, there's an app out called, well, 3 words. They've divided the whole of the UK up into 3 metre by 3 metre squares, and each one has 3 unique words. So you can now identify by putting Range Olive years into the app, it will tell you exactly where we are. Because it's a 3 by 3 square, if I was to walk over to the sign over there, it would be 3 different words. It's that specific. So our viewers can follow us around as we travel. So I think I've actually run out of words. Yeah, 3 words. Okay, we're running out of time. We're now unplugged, so we should be away from here. Just noticed it is cable protected with smart water. Check your local police station if you want to know what that one is. But this is Bolton, and I'm not suggesting anything wrong with Bolton, but these haven't been vandalised. So either Bolton's a nice place, or it's the smart water that's deterring them. Anyway, that's it for now. So I'm finished. So thanks for watching. I'm Dave.